Ladies and gentlemen, inductee Stanley Howell. Stanley Howell was born on November 5, 1957 in Guntersville, Alabama to Allie Havis and James Cecil Horton. He has 8 brothers: George, Carl, Randy, and Charles Ray Howell, Robert, Wayne, and Mike Horton, and Kim Williamson. He also has a sister, Ann Horton. Stan started playing football for the Cardinals in his first Pee Wee football league in Guntersville. He also played on the Warrington Yellow Jackets under Coach Ray Kelly. The high school coaches could see Stanley's potential as a junior high player and moved him and 3 others up to dress out with the varsity after his 8th grade season ended. Stanley became a 3-year starter as an I-formation tailback from 1974 to 1976 under new Wildcat head football coach Bill Rayburn. During those 3 years, Howell rushed for over 3,000 yards. He's shown here on a 100-plus yard game against Guntersville's up-the-river rival Scottsboro Wildcats. Stanley had an outstanding game and scored a TD here in his game against the Cats' fiercest rival, the Albertville Aggies. As a senior in 1976, Howell rushed for 1,426 yards in what was believed to be the Guntersville High School record at that time, on his way to being named a 2-time All-Marshall County and Birmingham News Honorable Mention All-State football player. Stanley is on the bottom right in this photo. Of the Wildcat All-County teammates, also sitting is Joey Edmonds, also on the 1976 All-State team. Standing left to right are Melvin Love, Rodney Beasley, Darrell Moore, and Jim Kelly. The Wildcats capped an outstanding season by making the 3A state football playoffs that year. While football was Howell's strongest sport, he was also an outstanding basketball player as the 6th man on the Wildcats' 1975 state championship team, playing with Hall of Fame teammate Kent Looney under Coach Jim Rhodes. When asked by one of the players as to why Stanley got to play so much on the basketball team, Coach Rhodes told the player, "Because he knows how to compete." Bullet, as he was known to his teammates, was also an all-county sprinter on the track and field team coached by Bobby Burcham and a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. At the GHS Athletic Banquet, Stanley gave the opening prayer and went on to receive awards as the Wildcat Captain, MVP, Back of the Year, and the Larry Kelly and Mike Jennings Award. Following his senior year in 1976, Stanley signed a football scholarship with Mississippi State University. He's shown here with his mother Allie and the MSU Bulldogs coach on signing day. Stanley was also selected to play on the North squad in the Alabama High School All-Star Game in Tuscaloosa, along with Albertville Hall of Fame lineman Paul Teague. At Mississippi State, Stanley was on a team with many talented players, especially at the tailback position. However, he lettered as a freshman on a Bulldog squad that went 9-2. His first carry in college netted 16 yards. After 2 years, MSU hired former Texas A&M head coach Emory Ballard, who brought the wishbone triple option formation to Starkville. In his junior year, Stanley was a third down specialist at that formation, being able to run, pass block, or catch the ball. As a senior on the 1979 team, Stanley became a key cog in the wishbone offense and started every game. The biggest play of his career was a 98-yard run from scrimmage in the homecoming game against Southern Mississippi. Sports Illustrated lists this as the second longest run from scrimmage in SEC history and the longest for Mississippi State. In his final 2 seasons at State, Howell ran the ball 86 times for 624 yards for an average of 7.3 yards per rush. Stanley, kneeling on the bottom row left with the 1979 Bulldog seniors, graduated in 1980 with a BS degree in health education. He signed a free agent contract with the Los Angeles Rams and was the last player cut about halfway through the season. The following year, he was picked up by the San Diego Chargers. Stanley gives all the credit for his success in athletics to his coaches, especially Coach Bill Rayburn and Coach Jim Rhodes, who taught him to be a leader on and off the field. He also credits his mother for teaching him strong Christian values. After football, Stanley, a talented vocalist, sang at the halftime of Mississippi State basketball games. He also toured the world with the musical group Speed Limit, and in case you don't recognize him here, Stanley is bottom row left. The sharp-looking and sharp-dressing Guntersville native also did some modeling while in Los Angeles. Stanley married his beautiful wife of 30 years, Gwendolyn, in 1982. The Howells have 3 children, Stanitra, Jamal, and Sherilyn, and 3 grandchildren, Kylan Howell, Caden Howell, and Jamea Howell. They live in Memphis, where Stanley currently works as the supervisor for vector control for Shelby County. Stanley has also coached youth league and high school football and volunteers with Delta Sigma Theta as a mentor for young boys without fathers. The Howells are active in the Golden Gate Full Gospel Baptist Church in Memphis. Ladies and gentlemen, 2012 inductee Stanley Howell.